All right, we are back with Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist of In the Money Stocks. And Gareth and I are going to continue the tradition of speaking on major market moves. Gareth, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, keeping very, very busy, as I'm sure you are.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you jumping on and knocking this out. This is a very important day for a lot of people, and I know you have some wisdom to share to help people navigate what's going on. And I want to thank you. You've been taking a ton of heat since last year at the peak when you're calling for that 20K. Everybody thought you were crazy, insane. And, we had that debate. I didn't think we would break that $30,000 level very easily, which it's been taking a while since the beginning of the year to crack that level. And you've been, holding strong on that 20K. So what are you looking at?
Yeah. So, number one is this is what happens in bear markets. And what I mean by that is that, we saw the Terra Luna situation. We saw the UST collapse, anything that's not made to be on a firm foundation. Ultimately, in bear markets, it's shown to be faulty, right? So now we're seeing Celsius. I think they're not allowing withdrawals right now, which is sending shockwaves. I mean, that's the equivalent in the crypto space of in the financial system. If a bank said, "Hey, you can't withdraw your money," I mean, that is not a good thing.
Well, here's a bigger one. So the latest shoe to drop is Binance. Binance now has locked up withdrawals and not allowing people to take their Bitcoin off the exchange.
Yeah, the one positive, and again, this could change, but the one positive I heard is that it was just based on some sort of glitch and that within 30 minutes, supposedly it was going to be fixed. If that's the case, that would be a positive. If it's not, then you're seeing Bitcoin going much, much lower. I mean, if this is an isolated Celsius incident, that's one thing. If it becomes something that many of these other crypto brokers have, then that's really, really bad. But I will tell you this. What we're seeing today in the price action is what I would consider blood in the crypto streets, which is just the same as blood in the Wall Street, kind of Wall Street period. This is where I start saying, okay, for a short-term bounce, it is starting to be likely. And again, it's scary, but you have to just kind of keep out the emotion and focus on the charts. And I'll show you here. Let me bring up the charts and take a look. What you can see here is that there's this little interim support right over here at around 23,000 or so. And that's kind of what we've been dangling right on top of. So that's your short-term support on Bitcoin. I ultimately still am holding strong that I think at the high end of a target, you're talking about this 20,000 marker here. So I still think we're going there. But again, generally, you don't go straight to these levels. It's very rare to see a collapse from where we were, at 32,000 or 31,000 a few days ago or a week ago down to 20,000 that quickly. Usually you get to a level, you bounce a little bit, then you flush again. Ultimately, I still think that we could go as low as 12,000. 12,000 is this pivot going back to 2019. One of the reasons why I think you could go that low, there's actually a few. Number one is it's a measured move. So if you take this distance from this high to this low, which was basically a straight shot down, and then you do a measured move, that same distance from here, let me zoom out, from here, it takes you down to 12,000. This would be the same distance repeating, which again, in technical analysis, it's called a measured move. It's some of the symmetry of stocks and charts and crypto. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that 12,000 also is the 80 to 85 correction move, which is a standard kind of Bitcoin crypto winter, right? So again, 20,000 is my high end. That's where I start kind of accumulating a hodl position where I plan to hold it for a little bit longer. But what I'll do is I'll divide my ultimate max that I want to buy into about 5 portions. So let's just say for Pete's, for example's sake, it's $100,000. I would do 20,000 at 20,000. And then at maybe 17,000, another $20,000 worth, et cetera, all the way down. So again, there's lots of ways here. I'm still a long-term huge bull. This is kind of exactly what I was expecting. It's the .com flush out. You need to see 95% of cryptos honestly go away during this next 1 to 2 year period. It's why I've said so many times when I invest in cryptos, I generally only invest in the top 20 because the top 20 hopefully will still be around to tell the tale, just like Amazon back in the .coms. Obviously, that one flourished afterwards. But I mean, it is nuts out there. There's no doubt about it. It is painfully nutty out there. And investors, don't use leverage. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You use leverage in a bear market, you're going to get slaughtered. Notoriously, when I'm accumulating, like I did a little buying of Ethereum today, I put 4% additional in my portfolio of Ethereum. That's it. I do have about a 20% position in my portfolio of Ethereum here for a bounce.
Let's take a look at Ethereum too, because I've got some targets on that as well.
Yep,
and I think we might see $700 on Ethereum here pretty soon.
Yeah. And Ethereum has broken down sharply, and really Ethereum is leading the drop. I mean, if you look at the relation to Bitcoin, Ethereum, this was your 2017 high, and it's already through that. Now I do have some levels here.
I'm not seeing your chart.
I apologize. Let me bring that up here. And all right, so here's your Ethereum chart. And again, you can see how it's leading Bitcoin. It's already taken out the 2017 highs right here. I think you have a couple levels coming up. The big one for me is going to be this $800 level right here. That's going to be a very, very big support. So again, basically below 1,000, I really start to think that there's good value here. If you can say a cryptocurrency has value. No one thought it would go here. I mean, we were almost at $5,000. So at $1,000, you're basically down 80% on Ethereum, and we're getting awfully close to that, trading at 1225 right now. So yes, it's nasty, but again, if you're someone that has that long-term vision and you're not using leverage and you're trying to build a long-term accumulation portfolio, then you start to nibble. You start to nibble just a little bit, and you kind of say, okay, listen, I understand that these positions could go down 50%. That's just the crypto market, right? Even from here. But if you have that view of long-term, then there's a lot more reward down the line on these good quality names.